Hello everyone, this is Жанна Bugibaevna. Welcome to my course. Today we are doing a lesson about past simple tense. We are going to talk about when we use past simple, what are the time expressions for past simple, what is the formulation of past simple, and some other practice. If you are ready, let's get started. First of all, let's talk about the usage of past simple. It means when we use past simple. The first thing that we use a past simple to describe the action in the past. For example, yesterday I went to the cinema with friends. Secondly, we use past simple as an action that started and finished at a specific time in the past. For example, I played football 3 years ago. That action started and finished in the past, 3 years ago. Thirdly, a series of completed actions. For example, today I went to London, bought a camera, and then took some photographs. So here we see the series of actions that happened today. Yeah, went, bought, and took. So went, it is a irregular verb of go, bought, irregular verb of buy, second form of, and took, it's a verb of take. So these actions are completed in the past. A series of actions happened. Clear? And duration in the past. When we talk about the duration in the past, for example, Mark waited all morning. It means the all morning, the time expression of all, shows us the duration in the past. The simple past tense is one of the most common tense in English. Its form is the same with all subjects. It's usually formed by adding ed to the verb. That means most of the verbs have ed in the past simple tense. Positive sentence. How to form a positive sentence? So here's the examples. I went to Rome yesterday. She cleaned the house last week. We played football 2 hours ago. So we can form see the formulation, the formula, subject plus verb to, or verb that ends with ed. So in the first sentence is irregular verb, went. In the second, cleaned, regular, that we add only ed. And in the third sentences also we add ed at the end of the verb. Negative form of sentence. So here are examples. I didn't go to Rome yesterday. She didn't clean the house last week. They didn't play football on Sunday. As you see here, here is the formula. Subject plus did not and plus verb 1. It means the infinitive form of the verb, the first form of the verb. So when we use in a negative form, when we use the did auxiliary verb, we use the verb is in the first form, not went. It should be here, go, clean, and play. Short form of this auxiliary verb is didn't. Next one, question forms. How do we make question sentences? So here is examples. Did you go to Rome last year? Yes, I did. Yes, I went to Rome last year. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't go to Rome last year. We just reverse did and you in the question. Forming WH questions. When we form the WH questions, these questions are when, why, how, where, and etc. These kind of questions called are WH questions. So the question word comes before the auxiliary verb did, then subject, then verb infinitive, and then object. For example, when did you go to the beach? How did she go to the beach, for example? Clear? Verbs can be regular and irregular. You know about it, yeah? If it is regular, we add just ed at the end of the verb. If it is irregular, we have to learn by heart the irregular verbs, the forms of irregular verbs. So here, some of the irregular verbs are written there. For example, awake, awoke, awoken. Be, was, were, been. Become, became, become. Begin, began, begun. Catch, caught, caught. Eat, ate, eaten. So these are irregular verbs to learn by heart. Spelling rules. If the verb ends with the letter E, we add just D. For example, live, lived. If it ends with consonant plus Y, change Y to I and we add ED. For example, try, tried. Cry, cried. If the verb ends with one vowel plus one consonant, but not W or Y, we double the consonant, then we add ED. Commit, committed. Any other verbs, some of the 90% of the verbs, we can say that we add only ED. Boiled, boiled, filled, filled, for example. The time expressions for the past simple. So how we know that is past simple? We use such kind of words like ago, for, yesterday, all, last month, last week, yeah, last weekend. These kind of words can show us that this is the past simple tense. For example, if you want to say how much time was passed since the event happened, we use ago. For example, 2 years ago, a long time ago, 5 years ago. And we can say how long the event lasted with for example, 4 weeks or for 5 months. Yesterday and last, we use it the action that happened yesterday, yeah, or the last weekend, last month, last week. So let's do some practice. So here's a photo and a sentence. They, in the brackets, swim in the pool last week. So it is a past simple, you know, because here is written last week, the time expression last, yeah. In what form of the verb we can put here the verb in the bracket? Yes, right you are. They swam in the pool last week. Second, my mother made a cake yesterday. Right you are. My mother made a cake yesterday. Tom and Jane in the forest 2 days ago. To the second form of the verb run, it should be ran in the forest 2 days ago. Jane, his boyfriend 3 hours ago. So Jane phoned his boyfriend 3 hours ago. Also some exercises. They at the picnic last weekend. They were at the picnic last weekend. I to a party yesterday. Right you are. I went to a party yesterday. I meet a new girlfriend there. I met a new girlfriend there. Galatasaray couldn't be the champion, but they the cup 2 weeks ago. They won the cup 2 weeks ago. She talked to her husband last night. As we know, that is regular verb. That is why we just add ed. And here's a negative form. She didn't talk to her husband last night. If it is positive, we can say like she talked to her husband last night. She watched television, right? So here also some practice I want you to do yourself. Let's check. Did you go shopping yesterday? Yes, she did. She went shopping yesterday. Did you take your medicines last week? No, I didn't take my medicines last week. Did Hakan Şükür kick a goal last week? Yes, he did. Yes, he kicked a goal last week. Did your grandmother clean the house yesterday? No, she didn't. She only watched television and ate chips in her living room yesterday. I'm Tommy. I'm Timmy. We danced a lot. We danced together at the party 3 days ago. What did the nurse bring for the patient, Tom? She brought the medicines for him. When did Janet and Jim get married? They got married 3 days ago. Why didn't you talk to each other at the party? Why? Because we argued with each other 2 days ago. So other sentences. you'll do it yourself. So, that is the end of the lesson. Thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed. See you next week.